to work out the question, if he keeps repaying this amount, how long will it take, right? We want to let A and M, that amount after the end here, we want it to be 0, right? So that's going to leave us with this, 10,000 minus 2,500. That's equal to 0. You can see you can disregard the denominator, right? Because it actually doesn't have an effect on the solution up here. So just go. Whoop. Then here I can divide by 2,500, make my numbers a little neater here. I've got 4 minus just that guy. Kick him over the other side. Actually, maybe kick him there, so we have the n on the left. But change the negative. And now, of course, just like before, when you're trying to work out time, you're always going to have to bring out logs, right? So I'm going to rewrite this as, get your calculator out, change your base. And I think the decimal we got was like 9.91 something, okay? Now, what does this mean? Okay, it's not the answer to the question, and it's not enough just to say n equals 10 from there, okay? What this means is that if we could pay at partway through the year, 90% through the 10th year, 90% through the 10th year, that's the point at which I can say, yes, I have enough to actually fully repay it, right? But the question said he only makes his repayments at the end of each year, right? So therefore, have a statement at the end here, right? Johnny fully repays after the 10th year. By the way, I don't know if you find that confusing or paradoxical, that after the 5th year, he wasn't even halfway. Like, he wasn't even close to halfway. But if you double it, you do get past there. Now, how does that work? 5 years, I don't get to halfway, but then another 5 years, and I'm finished. How does it work? It has to do with the way interest compounds, right? I'll let you think about it. That when you've got this amount, the reason why you make so little progress at the beginning of the loan is because there's so much of the loan left. So it's earning lots and lots of interest, and it's slowing you down, right? So even though at the end, you seem like you've got a very long way to go, because there's less of there to actually earn interest, your payments count for more, okay? Moral of the story, when you've got a loan, pay it off as soon as you can, right? Get rid of it, because it's the time at the beginning that's really costing you. Okay? And by the way, if you hadn't worked it out already, because he goes for 10 years, and he's paying 10 grand every year, how much does he actually pay by the end? Double, exactly right. Even 50%, it doesn't sound so bad, but the effective time, that's what happens to loans. Okay? It's the same with my mortgage, by the way. By the end, I'll probably have paid about as much in interest as I paid for the actual amount I borrowed. Okay, now let's see. We said in the superannuation questions, right, there were 4 quantities we could muck around with. There was the amount that you borrow, okay, the interest rate, we call that R. Here, it's the repayments, right? But before, it was the amount that you constantly invest. So since they're repayments, I guess we call them P. And then the last one was time, right? So we've been playing with different quantities here. So what will be the next question? Suppose he says, okay, 10th year, that's unreasonable. That's a rip-off. I'm paying so much interest. So he says, look, I want to stick back with my original plan of doing it in 5 years, okay? So I know I can't do it like this in 5 years because I need an interestless loan, okay? So therefore, let's say, if he does want to hit the 5-year target after all, he still wants to borrow his 50 grand and go on his, his bucket list or whatever tour, okay? And he's still got this interest rate to deal with. So what's the last thing we can adjust? It's this repayment here, okay? So here's the question I want to pose to you. If he wants to repay it in 5 years, how is he going to have to adjust his repayment? What will his regular repayment have to be?